Welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk Nutrition. We are coast to coast and we are worldwide. Thanks to you, and we're grateful. Hope your day is going well, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. And for the next couple of hours, we will try to educate, empower, and entertain you the best we know how. That's what we do every day, 5 days a week, between the hours of 9 and 11, roughly. We'll round it off to the round at 9 and 11 Eastern time. The show does appear at different times in different markets. And, of course, it's global, so it's definitely time zone changes everywhere. And everything is archived on our website at letstalknutrition.com. Under show schedule, you will find the audio files. And then on the homepage, there are a few video files. Then there's a link that will escort you to YouTube, where everything else is stored. And Gary will tell you about YouTube. He's going to ask you to do something for us on YouTube. And he's going to tell you how to connect to the show. And we invite you to do that. The show is about the audience, always is about the audience, and that's the mission, that's the purpose, that's the goal every day. It's not about me, it's not about the guest, it's about you. And that's how we go about this. 5 days a week, 365 days a year. Even when I'm on vacation, this show airs. Everything's taken care of before I go on vacay, but we're live right now, and here's how you can connect.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Or anywhere in the world at 813-636-8255. Even when we have guests on, we take calls. A lot of people don't do that, Doc. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was listening to a show the other day, and they had a guest on, and they wouldn't take a call. And they waited till after the guest was off. I go,
why?
What's the point? That's not educating
anybody. Oh, man. Like yesterday, I had Dr. Michael Murray on, right?
Yes.
And we had a great call from up in Philly, Lansdale.
Yes.
And Mary.
Fish oil.
Mary, remember the dry eyes and all that? Yeah, it was wonderful to have him. I mean, he was a clinician. He had a clinical practice. He's been doing this 30 years or so. He disclosed yesterday he's going to be 60, and I was thinking, he was going on about being 60. I thought, well, hell, I wish I were 60. Take it. That's when I started this show 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Almost around my birthday.
I just want to say you look very colorful today, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I like when you wear colors.
Okay. I'm listening. I pay attention.
Okay. But yeah, and I thought that was very interesting that we have these guests on that know these products, and they know, the education of these products. And we weren't even talking about fish oil, and Dr. Murray answered a question about fish oil.
He came on to talk about enzymes, and exactly, and all his clinical experience and all the diseases and health conditions. We invite you to call, even if I don't care even if it's off topic. If there's something on your mind and you want us to address it, I'll do it. I will do it. And if I can't do it in the first hour, I'll tell my producer who answered the phone. Usually it's Stephen. Today, Stephen is out because I should have kept quiet. I was talking about cold and flu the last couple of days, and now he's sick. And Jason's here. Jason, hi.
Hello, Doctor. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for filling in today.
I'm always happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you, man. And if you want to call, and Jason will get you hooked up. I don't care if it's off topic. As I say, if you can take the time to listen or watch the show, I can take time to talk to you and address what's on your mind. That's why we're here, right? It's show is produced. I produce it along with my other producers. They do the technical stuff. I do the content. But you know what? It's okay. I don't care. I love talking to you. There are a few stories I want to report and talk about with you today. One is a little bit sad. Well, it's a little distressing, but I can identify. And it deals with somebody that was one of my mom's favorite singers. You know, you have to appreciate this now. My mother was an Italian immigrant, right? And she's listening to the Doobie Brothers, and she's in her like 60s, 70s, 80s. She lived to be in her 90s. And she was listening to Neil Diamond, the Doobie Brothers, all the music, all the jazz artists I would play, the musicians I would bring to the house, famous and infamous. And she would make them breakfast. We'd get home late, early in the morning, or whenever. That's the life of a musician. And so she was involved in music with me, and she was pretty hip. And Neil Diamond was one of her favorite singers. Unfortunately, he has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And it brought to mind, as I said to Gary when I was looking at the story, you know, one day you're fine, and next day you wake up and you're diagnosed with some dreadful disease, and your life changes. And I just can't, many of you have had that experience. I had it on October the 5th at 5 o'clock, 2016. That's when my life changed, and that's when I changed.
But Doc, you didn't ignore the warning signs, though. A lot of people are doing that. I see that.
Well, we get into a state of denial, or we're just not conscious enough, or we don't believe it's going to happen to us, Gary. But Neil Diamond announced Tuesday that he's retiring from touring. He's going to stop touring because he was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's. According to the CBS Los Angeles, the onset of the disease has made it difficult to travel and perform on a large-scale basis. Close quote. That was a spokesperson for Mr. Diamond. Continuing, quote, based on his doctor's advice, the third leg of Diamond's 50th anniversary tour, he's been doing this 50 years, man, set to land in Australia and New Zealand this March, has been canceled, close quote. Now, there are many people, probably last Tuesday, I don't know how many, or whenever he was diagnosed, that were diagnosed that day too with Parkinson's. He just happens to be famous and a celebrity, and we talk about it. But the unknown who have been diagnosed with Parkinson's or MS or cancer, you know, Lou Gehrig's, whatever, some dreadful disease. Sometimes, just not sometimes, a lot of the time, other than their family and friends, live in obscurity. And when you have celebrity status, you don't want to squander the opportunity to help others. And apparently he's probably gonna, I don't know what he's gonna do. I know that Michael J. Fox has certainly made his illness something that he wanted to share with the public, and he's been very open about it. And I admire him. Come back, I'll tell you more about Neil Diamond and his Parkinson's disease diagnosis. And then I'm going to talk to you about misophonia.
What?
Not miso soup. Misophonia. Strange term, right? It's a strange disorder as well. And then I'm going to talk to you, before my guest comes on today, about something that's contagious, but it's a social contagion, and it's in epidemic proportions right now. Obesity being contagious. I'll report on those. Well, I invite you to respond if you'd like. We'll give you the numbers. Again, LTN, Coast to Coast and worldwide.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. I'm reporting on the condition of Neil Diamond. He was diagnosed recently with Parkinson's disease. And, you know.
If you're not familiar with Neil Diamond, I think he did a couple songs that are like really popular right now.
There you go. Oh, boy. I remember this. Keep that playing for a second. He was ready to do a tour. He's on tour, He was headed for Australia, New Zealand, and other places next month or March, and they had to cancel it. Wonderful musician, great artist, but, illness and disease does not discriminate. Doesn't care if you're famous, doesn't care if you're infamous, just doesn't care. So, as it turns out, Parkinson's is the cause of it is unknown, and they're trying to figure it out. Genetics is involved. There are environmental triggers that get implicated in other health conditions. The most telltale sign of Parkinson's, as most people know, are tremors, and they are visible. But it can cause stiffness, slowed movements, impaired speech, and so on. It has a systemic effect, physiologically, psycho-emotionally, and probably spiritually. About 50,000 people are diagnosed with Parkinson's in the United States every year. About 500,000 have the disease. This is according to the NIH. As I said, Neil Diamond is notable, and he makes the issue more public and raises consciousness and awareness. But all the 500,000 that are diagnosed with this disease, many live in obscurity, but are courageous. This is a complicated disease. There are no known cures for Parkinson's. It is a chronic and progressive disease. It persists over a long period of time, and typically the symptoms grow worse over time, as do the signs. Some individuals will become severely disabled. Others will have only minor signs and symptoms of the disease. It's so individualistic. But make no mistake, Neil Diamond, I am sure, at this very moment, wherever he is, it realizes that his life is forever changed, and your view of the world changes, your view of yourself changes. And the thing that you don't want to do when you're confronted with a situation like this is to squander the opportunity. And what do I mean by that? Squander the opportunity to help others, to find a path, to make yourself a pathway whereby you become a better person and do more in the service of others. That's how my own challenges, health challenges in 2016 started with cancer, affected me, and to this very day. I was just visiting with some physicians yesterday, and we were talking about this, but I don't want to make this about me, but I'm just trying to make the point that these kinds of events are they are so transforming. They can be transforming and transformational. We'll see how he handles it and what he decides to do going forward, whether he's going to do like Michael J. Fox has done, make it very public and share with his fans and the public his experience. We'll be curious to see. So, but I wish him well. I happen to be fond of him as a musician. I think he's a great musician, a great artist, and has had a wonderful career, 5 decades worth. He was on tour celebrating his 50th anniversary as an artist. And here he is now confronted with this challenge. So we wish him well. You want to chime in, talk about it, whatever I'm talking about, give us a call.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Or anywhere in the country or the world at 813-636-8255.
There's a disorder called misophonia. You may not be familiar with it. It's an odd disorder, but it's real, and people are diagnosed with it. It's a disorder that whereby people will have these very dramatic and strong negative reactions to everyday sounds that humans make, like breathing, chewing, coughing, right? And it's not unusual for people who don't suffer from this disorder to get sort of distracted and distressed with some of other individuals' human sounds, especially when they eat, right? You can find it annoying. But this disorder is far more than that. It's very dramatic. And the physical and emotional reactions to very common everyday sounds parallel the fight or flight response, the stress response that can lead to feelings of anxiety, panic, anger, rage. That's how some people react to the everyday sounds of others. Come back, I'll tell you a little bit more about this. And then I'm going to report on, before my guest comes on, Ziggy, as he's affectionately called, about obesity being contagious. Really?
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit TakeSolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Misophonia. What is that? It's hatred of sound. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Wherever and however you may be listening to the show and whatever you may be doing, we're glad that you tuned us in. And this is a disorder that is unusual. It literally means hatred of sound. It's a condition. It was proposed, a recently identified condition. It was proposed in 2000 as a condition in which negative emotions, thoughts, and physical reactions can be triggered by everyday, common, but yet specific sounds. It could be coughing, sneezing, chewing of food. Of people doing that will upset somebody. It's an auditory and neurological or psychiatric condition, and people suffer from it. And I've never mentioned it on the air before, and person's reaction to these sounds, everyday sounds, can be quite dramatic, and it interferes with their life and their ability to live a normal life. They don't know. There are certain ways to treat it. They may have the person, for example, mimic the sounds, so they get accustomed to those sounds. They'll have them wear headphones or listen to music to drown out these sounds that are annoying to them. They wear earplugs. But when you're in public places, if you're on a bus or a streetcar, a train, an airplane, or a restaurant, that can be very difficult for a person. You're in close quarters. And they teach them how to meditate, to read. It's like a stress response. It parallels the fight or flight response, but it's very dramatic. I wanted to share it with you. It's something that maybe you didn't know about. It's called misophonia. It's real. It's a little unusual, and I just thought, well, let me see what that's all about and share it. Ziggy Bertowski is my guest today. And we'll have him on in 1 second. There's in the Journal of the American Medical Association online, in a new edition, they're reporting about obesity being contagious. Now, it's not contagious like a cold or flu virus. Obesity in this study has emerged as a social contagion. A social contagion is the spread, if you will, of thoughts, emotions, behaviors from one person to another, and among even larger groups, like even a neighborhood or a city, for example, or a state, for that matter. I have reported on surveys, the fattest states in the United States or the healthiest states. That's not an accident. There's a lot of reasons for that, the built environment, but from individual to individual, people within groups, people within organizations, people within communities can experience a social contagion. Obesity is now being characterized as a social contagion, and being around people who are obese raises another person's risk of becoming obese. Even more, they report, than a genetic component or other factors that have been clearly, scientifically, and thoroughly examined. Wow. This is rather interesting to me. I will tell you more about this study as through this show today, and as I go along with my guest today, I'll expand upon it. The title of the study was Association of Exposure to Communities with Higher Rates of Obesity with Increased Body Mass Index and Risk of Overweight and Obesity Among Parents and Children. Long title. Translation: if you're affiliating with people who are overweight or obese, you put yourself at risk.
Did you see who the subjects were?
Yes.
Yeah, the military.
The military.
Which is, you would think they are PTing and they're working out and they're. I mean, you've seen what Devin looked like before he went in. You see what he looks like now. He's
Gary,
dropped weight.
The obesity has affected the military. They've had to change some of the armamentum, tanks, to make the design to accommodate the size of the troops. Just like we've had in society. Coffins are bigger. Toilet seats are bigger. The seats on buses are big. I mean, everything has changed because people have gotten bigger. And the Army, the military, has had to accommodate this obesity epidemic. You can't have three big guys, I don't know how many people sit in a tank, but you can't put 4 beast people in a tank, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Get my meaning here? Follow me?
You can't put a tank in a tank.
You can't put a tank in a tank. So this is, we do say this with levity, but in the military, police officers, firefighters, first responders are now having to really be scrutinized closely and being put on programs where they have to lose the weight.
The sheriff's office here in Hillsborough County, Florida, instituted a program that if you're overweight as a deputy, they put you on a bicycle patrol to help you maintain your weight.
Outstanding.
But they're still not addressing the major issue of eating properly.
Right, changing their relationship with food. They should hire experts such as myself to come in and talk about weight loss and how to do this and those jobs are stress-loaded. They are stress-loaded jobs, and the fight or flight response is always on with these people. And stress is definitely correlated with overweight and obesity. So, and I've given seminars on stress management. I think managing weight and managing stress can be talked about simultaneously. Ziggy is my guest. He is with Yerba Prima, which in Spanish means first herb. Yerba, man. Comer, how would you say in Spanish? Eat the herbs. Eat the plants. Yerba. Yeah. We love the plants. I'm sticking with the plants. We'll see what's on Ziggy's mind. He was sick. He was supposed to be on a couple of weeks ago or a week or so ago, and he was ill, right?
Yes, sir.
Stephen is out today. Jason is in, and we're glad that he's here.
Where's my silver biotics?
Yeah. I jinxed Stephen. I was talking about the cold and flu yesterday and the day before. Poor thing, he got sick. For him not to be here, he's got to be laid up.
Yeah.
We come back, we'll talk with Ziggy. And you are listening to LTN Coast to Coast and Worldwide.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Ziggy Brostowski is my guest today. He's an educator for Yerba Prima, and we're glad to have him on. He missed his last appearance. He was under the weather. It's an interesting metaphor, better than being under a semi. Ziggy, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition 2018 edition. We're glad you're feeling better and up to par.
Up to par. I'm still, I mean, the first time I've ever had the flu in my life. I've been down and out with it for about 2.5 weeks. I'm finally just getting back on my feet. And this was coming off back surgery where I was laid up for 3 weeks. So it was brutal.
So you had back surgery, and that was stressful. You were probably immunocompromised and were a sitting target to get sick.
It's the worst I've ever felt in my life.
That was the flu. That wasn't a cold. A cold.
No, I went and got tested at the doctor's. They said I had the flu. I mean, it's just going around everywhere.
Right, and you just have to tough it out. I was talking about the flu yesterday and cold and flu viruses, and one of my producers got sick. I jinxed him. You feel 2.5 weeks you've been battling this, huh?
2.5 weeks. I mean, I just started feeling better this week.
Let me ask you something. I know it's only been the flu. It's not what Neil Diamond's going through with Parkinson's. I get that. But, you disclosed that you had a battle with cancer. But even when you get the flu, it makes you think about your health, doesn't it? And evaluate what's important, even with a flu.
I think, tying into your theme of the show with obesity and everything you guys are talking about, I mean, I've really had to step back the last 5 weeks with the back surgery. And then the flu, rethinking everything from what I put in my body to what I, eat to what I drink to, everything I do. So yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And did you get laid up in bed? Were you literally bedridden, or did you manage to work? How have you handled it?
Well, I've been working. I mean, I was working right from the hospital the first 3 days I was in, and then I've been working from home the last month. But I'm going to go back to the office finally next week. I had a benign tumor on my spine, which they took out, and I had some disc problems, which was due to probably, I've had back issues forever, but due to some of my weight. So, a lot of this stuff all ties in together with, a healthy lifestyle.
So where on your spine was the tumor?
Right on my L2 vertebrae.
Lumbar region, L2, lower back. Was it impinging on the nerves? Did it cause discomfort?
It was.
Boy, you've had your share here, pal.
Yeah, it was benign. That's what I mean. We both talked about how we both went through cancer. So, just to hear the words benign was what I needed to hear. So, that was a win in itself.
Yeah. Where's the L2 at, Doc?
Lumbar, lower back. You have. That's where a lot of people have back issues. My L4, it's usually L4, L5 that get worn.
In the small?
It's a small part of the back. That's the lumbar region. You have the thoracic portion of the spine, and then the cervical portion up toward the neck, and the thoracic toward the middle, and then the lumbar toward the bottom. What's the prognosis on that tumor?
Oh, they took it right out. So I was out of the hospital in 3 days. I was walking, the day after the surgery. I've been getting around really good. Everything's good.
Given your first experience with cancer, I guess you were pretty concerned, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, even though they said, the chances of that being cancerous was like, 3 out of 100, being someone that's had cancer before, it raises your chances. I mean, you always expect the worst now, I think, after you had cancer once.
For sure. Well, I wish you the best. Congratulations on making it and not having it to be a cancer diagnosis. I'm glad for you. I'm sorry you got sick with the flu, but I'm glad you're here today. Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Just better, healthy lifestyle. I mean, that's all. I know a lot of people make those. But, I think with everything that happened with me, it sinks home a little bit more. You just realize the older you get, the tougher it is to heal. You're opening yourself up for all different kinds of things if you don't live that kind of lifestyle. So, thanks for the flu. It was a quick 15 pounds, and the hospital stay was another 5. But, you gotta. It's like this always does. I mean, Let's Talk Nutrition is about living a healthy lifestyle.
Well, you guys manufacture and sell a product that is phenomenal for weight loss, and it's the F word.
Fiber.
Fiber. It's fiber, man. Fiber. I keep telling people it's like, I don't know. Everybody's running around looking for the great secret to lose weight. The great or secrets. What is it? What's the trick? How do you do it? And I said it's right there in broad daylight. It's right in front of you. It's fiber. Fiber is one of the most important elements of any weight loss program, the consumption of fiber. And so just start eating more of your product, brother.
Trust me, I am. I mean, we can get into that later. I mean, we don't, people I don't really think understand why fiber is so essential to help.
Well, there are a couple things you all sell at Yerba Prima that are wonderful for New Year's resolutions regarding health. New Year's based kinds of resolutions, detoxification and weight loss. You have products for both of those, and we can get into that if you like, unless you wanted to talk about popcorn, cheese balls, and potato salad and stuff like that.
I think that would be for the Gary and Ziggy radio show.
Yeah.
Gary's
knows me so well.
Gary's culinary temptation is mac and cheese. If I were to bring in a bowl of mac and cheese in here and set it down, he would be so distracted he wouldn't be able to do his work. Mac and cheese. I mean, he can eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep.
He loves mac and cheese. I got to come up with. There is a recipe, a plant-based recipe for mac and cheese. I'm going to have to dig that up. I'll see if I can make it. You like mac and cheese, don't you?
Yeah. Yes.
Where did you learn that? Where did you learn that bad habit?
That was a mom thing.
She gave you mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blame your mom. You're an adult, brother. It's not your mother's fault. Quit blaming mom. We come back. We'll talk about fiber for weight loss, and then wonderful products at Yerba Prima for detox and cleansing. They have one that comes from volcanoes. That's all I'll say, and we'll explain. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. We're coast to coast. We're worldwide. We're on social media. We even have pigeons that send out messages. We do it all. We'll be back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition 2018 edition of LTN. Glad you could tune in today. We're so delighted to be with you. We enjoy sharing this time, talking about health, wellness, and well-being. We're trying to educate, empower, and entertain all at the same time. And it is performance. So, some days you do it better than others, but we're always doing our best. That you can count on. We invite you to connect to the show. That's why we show up. We're here for you. And you can call. We encourage you to call. You can send emails. You can send text messages. You can send email messages. You can contact us on Facebook. Gary's going to tell you how to do all of that.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Or locally, or anywhere in the country at 813-636-8255. Follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition. I look over the messages almost every day there, and Dr. Garko is the one who actually answers them. Go to Let's Talk Nutrition on Instagram, it's one word, and subscribe to our YouTube page at Let's Talk Nutrition. And all the previous shows are in closed captions, so if you know somebody that's a little bit hard of hearing or just wants to read the shows and see what's going on, go to that and subscribe.
How is IT doing with the LTN app?
I have not got to speak with Fernando this week. I've been so busy doing other stuff, but I actually have a meeting with him this afternoon.
They're working on tell the audience what
we're going to be able to have a live feed to our LTN app, which you can get our app through Android or your Apple store. It's a free app. And it has 3 buttons right now. One is archive shows. The second one is you can get a discount at Vitamin Discount Centers, and you put in Garko, and you get $5 off a $35 purchase. Or you can email Dr. Garko directly, and it goes right to his email off that app.
Most of the audience, the lion's share, catches the show on the radio, and we are coast to coast, and we're in like 65 or so, approaching that, different markets and all the affiliates across the U.S. And we encourage you to support the radio station that airs this show. People take radio for granted. It's sort of like free, right? We shouldn't. The people that work in radio are very dedicated people, and we shouldn't take radio for granted. We all do that. What would life be without radio, right? And we have this other technology, that's true. And we're trying to accommodate that portion of the population that's dialed into that. But most of the people that listen to this show listen on the radio because there's no buffering. They don't have to buffer anything. The signal is robust, it's clear, it's wonderful. So in our heart and soul, our DNA, our basic DNA is terrestrial radio. But we have those other features as well, all these other technological advances. And we just have to try to accommodate way people when they move away from the radio, we don't want them to move away from the show. And here's something we've learned for all the affiliates. I want you to know that even though somebody may drift from the radio, when they leave and pick it up on their pad, their iPhone or their computer, that doesn't push them away from the radio. In fact, it reminds them to go back to the radio. We've learned that. So it's not a threat to terrestrial radio. It hasn't turned out that way, and I'm glad for that. Ziggy Prostowski is my guest today, and Ziggy's had his share of health issues. He shared that on the air with us. He's a cancer survivor, and when you know people who have been through those kinds of events, they have a different view of the world. He recently had to go through some surgery to remove a tumor, thank God, on lumbar L2 from his spine, lower region of his back. It was benign, and he's been down with the flu for the last 2.5 weeks. He probably got a little immunosuppressed from the surgery, but he's here today, and we're glad that he's here. Ziggy, welcome back. I think one of the best New Year's resolutions people can make is to increase their intake of fiber. That doesn't sound very sexy, flashy, and it's not a flash and bang resolution. But I'm going to tell you, it's a game changer in my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, I couldn't agree more. The benefits of, why somebody would make a New Year's resolution and want fiber in their diet. I mean, one, elimination aspect, having a clean and healthy colon. I apologize for the dogs, Doc.
How many dogs you got there, brother? You sound like you're at a kennel, man.
I got 3. That was part of, being a huge dog guy that had a rescue group for years and years.
How many dogs you have? 3?
3 dogs.
Are they big dogs or small dogs?
2 big, 1 little.
Yeah. Boy, that's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, tell me about it, especially when you're down and out and sick. But, yeah, I apologize.
No worries. That's okay.
Yeah. Going back to the fiber, though, everyone makes these New Year's resolutions. And, why I tell people why you would want fiber in your diet. One, if you have a clean and healthy colon, elimination aspect, your body's going to be taking in nutrients a lot more efficiently. You're going to be eliminating a lot more efficiently. But the bulking aspect of fiber, especially psyllium, can give you a sensation of fullness. So, fiber you take in the morning and you take at night, when is one of the most times, people want to eat? That's probably the worst time of night or day or night to eat for you. It's at night.
At night.
Taking fiber at night, it's going to curb that appetite.
So, your psyllium husks, that product, how long have you had that on the market?
37 years.
Oh, my land. Wow. 37.
Been around a long time. I mean, I always tell people we stick to what we're good at. We've had 3 new products in the last 20 years. Psylliums have been a staple of our line along with the fibers, and we just, we stick to what we're good at. We want to help people.
Mm-hmm. Now, the psyllium, what's the best way for people to consume psyllium?
You know what? It's all about preference. We offer it in a powder. We offer it in a capsule. We offer it in a vegetable capsule. We offer it in organic. So you've got a lot of different options of, what type of psyllium you want to take as far as, capsule powder, vegetable, organic, all that.
Mixing it with just water?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are doing it now with protein shakes. I think the younger generation, where they're on the go and they're doing, a lot more shakes and stuff like that to supplement meals. They're throwing it right in their, smoothies or throwing it right in their shakes. If not, you can just mix it with some water. That's a perfect experiment to have. If you mix some psyllium with some water, stir it, let it sit, you can see how it starts to really gel up. And that shows you what it's doing in your intestinal tract and your gut, how it's swelling out, doing exactly what I just talked about. Now,
is psyllium fiber more soluble or insoluble in its nature?
Well, that's the one good thing about psyllium is it's soluble and insoluble, so you get the benefits of both worlds.
Now, the soluble fiber is what breaks down in the water, and creates a gel, and it creates that feeling of fullness. That's what's doing it.
Correct.
Right. The insoluble fiber really goes to your colon pretty much unchanged, and that's what helps with staying regular, as they say. We'll come back. We'll talk more about this and talk about fiber. This is one of the best New Year's resolutions to make. Increase my intake of fiber, either through food or through dietary supplementation. And there are a whole list of foods that are just fiber loaded, and we can get into that as well. Give us a call. Call us at
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
And you can send a message on Facebook, whatever way you want to communicate. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, Fiber Ready. We are Fiber Ready.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilomax, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Fiber. Talked about it a lot on this show over the years, and trying to get people, I admit, it is a persuasive challenge to get people to increase their intake of fiber. It doesn't sound like something that's going to really make a difference. I'm telling you, from my own experience, I'm telling you from the science, I'm telling you in every way that I know how, that increasing your fiber intake is one of the best things you can do to improve your overall health. There is no doubt about it. It will help you to lose weight. It'll keep your blood glucose levels in line. It helps fight off certain forms of cancer. I can go on and on. The problem with fiber is it's affiliated with certain foods that a lot of people don't like to eat, namely fruits and vegetables. And if you don't, then you can supplement. That's another way to do it. And, Yerba Prima, they got fiber products that are fabulous. Let's go to Tampa, Florida. Roy, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Good morning, Doc. My question is about fiber. I added it up, and in my drink in the morning is about 40 grams of fiber.
40?
Then I eat a lunch as my main meal, and then a light dinner. Is that too much?
I don't know how many grams of fiber you're eating for the rest of the day. 40 grams in your shake in the morning?
Right.
Wow. That's a lot of fiber. What kind of fiber are you using?
I use a psyllium husk. I use a product called ProFibe. I use flaxseed, chia seed. So I get that amount in the. And then I use ground up coconut has a little bit of fiber. Then a cup of berries has a little bit of fiber.
I would never worry about eating too much fiber. You want to take a look and see the distribution, soluble to insoluble. Ideally, depending on all things being equal, maybe 50-50. The soluble fiber will help reduce cholesterol. It will create a feeling of fullness, and it'll help keep blood glucose insulin levels in line because it slows down the release of glucose into the bloodstream. It slows everything down, and that's a good thing. And the insoluble helps people to go to the bathroom. So 50-50.
I'll have about 2 or 3 bowel movements a day.
Oh, my God.
I feel good.
Well, you should. I mean, you're doing better than most, brother. It's funny you haven't tried any of Yerba Prima's.
I do their psyllium.
Oh, you like their psyllium.
Sure.
The price is right on that, right?
Sure. I go to VDC, and, I've never found a place to beat their prices yet. I mean, even when I'm in New York, I will call VDC and have them mail products up to me.
That's great. I don't think that there are some cultures where they're consuming 90, 100 grams of fiber a day, usually on the African continent in certain tribes. They're consuming that much fiber because they're plant-based mostly. Their diet is primarily plant-based.
I've done this gradually. Over the years, I've built up this drink of mine. It wasn't like I just slammed it into my body.
Right. Now,
so
people.
I feel good with it, but I just said, well, maybe, let me call.
No, I wouldn't worry too. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think 40 grams at one. I don't know if I could do 40 grams at one time.
I'm a big guy.
I know you're big. You're what, 6'4", 6'5", something like 215, 215 pounds, something like that. You're a big guy. I get it. No, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the least of your worries. Keep doing what you're doing, man. That will serve you well, especially and people who have heart disease. You're saying, why would I be interested in fiber? Because it's going to help lower cholesterol.
Right.
It sops up the cholesterol. So if you have
triglycerides as well.
Not know about that.
Okay.
Not so sure about that. I know that it's good for cardiovascular health. Now, a lot of people wouldn't put that together, but it does help a lot.
Oh, sure. Well, it keeps the weight down as well, and
no doubt. So I'm glad that you called and shared that. There are people out there that actually do this, Ziggy, and so he uses your psyllium husks. You've had that product on the market for decades. It's probably, I guess that's probably one of your best-selling products, right?
Yeah, the psyllium's always. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, psyllium's always been a staple of our line. So, I mean, since day one, that's been our bestseller.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, 40 grams of fiber in a sitting.
He's as big as he is. I don't know if I would do 40 grams. I would do 20 maybe. And then,
I mean, I've never even heard. I've never even asked. Such a good question to ask whether you should stagger the fiber throughout the day like that. I mean, I've just never heard of anybody getting that much fiber in one sitting. That's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. I can tell you, the fiber is so paradoxical, Zig, and I know it lacks nutrients. There are no micronutrients, no vitamins and minerals in it. The insoluble fiber is indigestible. It's a carbohydrate, but we can't digest it. It is calorie and energy resistant. Yet, paradoxically, fiber is one of the most important food substances to consume to help create, sustain, and reclaim a person's health, wellness, and well-being. I say that as a succinct statement, and I'm 100% committed to it. The more fiber you eat, the better off you're going to be. We come back, we'll continue with Let's Talk Nutrition, talking with Ziggy from Yerba Prima. They are a health and digestive care company, been in the business a long time. They also have some detox products that are very good. One that's derived from volcanoes. We'll take a look at that.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
The famous and sometimes forgotten surgeon, Dr. Dennis Burkett, he's known for the discovery of a childhood cancer known as Burkitt's lymphoma, than for his literary work, his book entitled Don't Forget the Fiber in Your Diet. Good piece of advice. Good book. Dr. Burkett was a keen observer. And when he was working on the African continent, working with many of the indigenous tribes, he made some observations that escaped most. One observation that he made was he saw that the tribes with whom he was working and helping were not suffering from the chronic diseases that Western societies were experiencing. Heart disease, cancer, and so on. And he was wondering, why would this be the case? And, quote, many of the major and commonest diseases in modern Western culture are universally rare in third world communities, were uncommon even in the United States until after World War I, close quote. So said Dr. Burkett. And what he observed was that these indigenous tribes were eating a plant-based diets that were loaded with fiber. And, you know, not to distill them down to one principle, but his theory was that it was the fiber or the lack thereof that was contributing to a large proportion of the variance relative to these so-called Western diseases. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Ziggy Restowski is my guest, educator for Yerba Prima. I don't know how familiar you are, Ziggy, with Dr. Burkett, Dennis Burkett, and his book, Don't Forget the Fiber in Your Diet. Talk about that's a great piece of marketing. That's a great marketing statement. But people do forget the fiber in their diet, and because they're not eating the foods that are loaded with fiber. That's where you all come in. Besides the psyllium husks, you have other fiber-based products as well. Yes?
Correct.
Yeah. Could you share that with us a little bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, our fiber line, if you're not a psyllium person, we have Daily Fiber and Colon Care, which is just a well-balanced form of different fiber types. It does have a little bit of psyllium in it, but it uses some of the other fibers that are out there, so you're not going to have the bulking aspect that psyllium has. Some people just, they might feel a little bit uncomfortable with the psyllium because of the bulking. That's exactly what psyllium is supposed to do, but we give our customers, alternatives if they don't want to do a straight psyllium product.
Do you have certain blend? Could you give the names of some of the products?
Yeah, sure. The most common blend we have is Daily Fiber Formula.
It's Daily Fiber Formula. Okay.
Yeah, and that comes in a powder form, which is the formula. It comes in a capsule form, and then it comes in an orange flavored, which is actually, we just reformulated it, which is going to hit the market in about 3 months, which has a more orangey taste to it. So it's going to be a really great product for everybody.
Gary has tried that orange flavored fiber product. Did you like it?
I did. I really like it.
You have some there?
Yes, I do.
Yes, he does. There you go. He has the packet. Here, toss it over here. Oh, you on camera?
I got a camera. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Gary, there he is. There he's got it. Daily Fiber Formula. He's got the packet. See that?
I'm watching you guys online. I'm waiting for it to catch up right now.
Yeah, there it is.
That's my man, Gary.
There you go. So we got it. That you're trying to make it, fiber, again, I admit, it's not the most sexiest thing to talk about. But, boy, I'll tell you, it is a game changer. I'm sorry. There's all kinds of things out there that people can take. you will get the best bang for your buck. Just buy some nice fiber products from Yerba Prima, and you won't be sorry. Now, how much fiber to take a day? There's the Institute of Medicine. The Institute of Medicine recommends about 38 grams for men at 50 years of age and younger, and about 30 grams for men over 50. Women, 50 years and younger, about 25 grams, and those older than 50, about 21 grams a day. Now, Roy called in. He's doing 40 in the morning. So, yeah. And if you're not eating fruits and vegetables, you're not going to get it from eating meat with your meat. There's no fiber in meat. So I'm just saying, you're not getting. I'll bet you there's some people that don't even get 10 grams a week, Ziggy.
Well, I always tell people when people say, well, I think I get enough fiber, and I have them break it down for me. And then I explain it like this. A piece of bread has half a gram of fiber, depending if you're just eating a typical piece of bread. An apple has 2 grams of fiber. A cup of peas has 5 grams of fiber. So just, do the math on that of how much, fiber you're really getting in your system just based on those 3 simple things.
I came across a quote by Dr. Burkett. I'm just going to tell you in a word. He believed, his theory and his belief was that fiber, the lack of fiber, was a primary factor in the cause of many of the Western diseases, and that a diet deficient in whole plant foods, even more specific yet, was the culprit. And that's where you get the natural source of fiber. And he had this analogy, and it's a little bit long, but here's the quote. He said, if a floor is flooded as a result of a dripping tap, it is of little use to mop up the floor unless the tap is turned off. The water from the tap represents the cause of disease. The flooded floor, the disease is filling our hospital beds. Medical students learn far more about methods of floor mopping than about turning off taps, if you follow his metaphor, and doctors who are specialists in mops and brushes can earn infinitely more than those dedicated to shutting off the taps, close quote. In other words, identify the cause of the disease, quit treating its symptoms, is what he's trying to say. And one way to help treat the cause of these Western diseases, heart disease, cancer, and you name it, is to eat a more plant-based diet, consume more fiber. If you're not down with that, then try doing fiber supplements from Yerba Prima. We'll tell you about a couple of more fiber products that they have, and I'll have the LTN health question of the day, $25 gift card to get the right answer.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
DLTN Health Question of the Day. I wrote an article in which I reviewed the literature on the intake of dietary fiber in the United States, the trends. And I looked at a 20-year period. I looked from 1988 to 2008. That was the time frame. And there were a couple of big studies during that period that analyzed dietary fiber intake in the United States among adults and children. Here's the question, and I concluded after looking at all the data, the average intake of daily fiber in the United States was 5 grams a day, 10 grams a day, or 15 grams a day. Based on my review of the literature, what was the daily fiber intake, generally speaking? 5, 10, or 15 grams a day? You have the right answer. As always, we'll award you a $25 supplement gift card to Vitamin Discount Center.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255 or anywhere in the sound of my voice at 813-636-8255.
We're working on the website, and we're going to get all my articles organized, and it's under construction. We left the site up, but it's under construction. It's like we're doing the work. Sometimes they close the road. We kept the site open, even though it's under construction. And
driving through Atlanta in the 80s, remember how bad the traffic was?
Oh, my God. Terrible. So we could have shut it down, but I wanted to keep it open, and we'll have everything organized, and that'll take a few weeks, but we'll get it done. And then you'll have access to all of my articles. I've written one every month for the last 13 years.
Can I say something real quick? Because I don't want to seem like I'm blowing this up, but I used to take another product. It tasted like sawdust and gritty.
A fiber product.
Another fiber product, gritty like sand. And so when Siggy suggested this, he suggested
the daily fiber, the orange flavored one.
Okay, and he sent that to me, and it doesn't have that taste or that feel. Can I ask why is that?
First of all, give the folks the number to answer the question. What's the average daily intake of fiber in the United States based on my review of the literature? 5 grams, 10 grams, or 15 grams a day? Here's the number to call.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
So to Gary's question, why is it that your psyllium husk orange flavored fiber doesn't taste like sawdust and sand?
I think we did our homework and we did a lot of taste tests before we launched it. I mean, I've tasted some stuff out there that's just loaded with sugar, and yeah, it tastes good, but you're eating a cup of sugar. You know what I mean? That tastes other stuff that's flavored that tastes just like what Gary says. I just think, with our blends and with the right amount of flavoring in it, that's why you're getting the taste you're getting.
Okay. And go to yerbaprima.com. They have a number of fiber-based products there. But if you're interested in detoxing for the new year, they have a product that's derived from volcanoes. Explain what I mean by that, Zig.
So there's a clay extract that comes out that's a really powerful detoxifier. And just since we're at the end of the show, to dumb it down and make it really simple, acts like a magnet. You take it, it sweeps through your body, it pulls out toxins and just eliminates it without getting absorbed into your system. It's a fantastic product.
Yeah, it's give them the name.
It's called Bentonite, Great Plains Bentonite, and it comes in quarts, comes in pints, and then it comes in capsules.
He's not talking about bourbon.
Not bourbon.
That's not bourbon. He's talking about bentonite. That product has a great ability to absorb these toxins in the body, and it's sort of white and creamy, but no taste to it. It's easy. It's that you don't need the courage of a United States Marine to take the product. It's very, and that product is amazing. I don't know how much of it you sell, but I think it's one of the most underrated products for detoxing on the market, in my opinion.
Well, I think people are getting smarter based on sales right now. Bentonite sales are through the roof the last couple of years. So, I mean, our Bentonite's number one. There's not a lot of Bentonite out there. But you're seeing spas starting to use it and incorporate it into clay masks to draw out the toxins. There's a lot of uses for it.
Absolutely. Sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. Yerba Prima's bentonite. The health question for today is, what is the average intake of daily fiber? Is it 5 grams a day in the United States? 5, 10, or 15 grams a day? It's not as little as you might think. Now, given those three numbers, you need to be around 30, 35, 40 grams a day. If you're a man, at least 30 to 35. A woman, maybe 25 to 30 grams a day. There's some people that are not even getting the answer for today's question a day. They might be getting that a week because they don't eat plants. Is it 5 grams? I'll make it easy for you. Two choices. Is it 5 grams a day or 15 grams a day? 877-897-8255, toll free. Speed dial it and win that $25 supplement gift card. So now you lost a little bit of weight since you had the surgery on your spine and the flu. How much weight did you lose?
Like 22 pounds altogether.
All right. So what are you going to do to keep it off?
Probably eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, there you go. He will. He's in Chicago. They're easy to find there. The cheeseburgers are easy to find anywhere. Come on, you can get this answer for today. Speed dial it. If you call in, as I'm going off the air and we're off and you're talking with Jason and you give him the answer, we'll still give you credit.
It is Wednesday. We are live. So
we're live. Is it 5 grams or 15 grams a day? What's the average intake of fiber? It's more than you think, but it should be more than what the answer is. How's that? Does that help? 5 grams or 15 grams? 877-897-8255. Ziggy, I wish you the best of health in 2018. I'm glad that the surgery turned out well. The tumor on your lumbar region, L2, was not. It was benign, thank goodness. And we wish you the best. Thanks for coming on today. Yerba Prima. Go to yerbaprima.com. We have somebody calling in. If they get the answer, we'll give them credit, even though we're headed off. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do this again, and we're always serving something up. And the news around here, is always fresh. No stale news, and we'll get that. So Jason's taking the calls. If you have the right answer, we'll give you credit. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.